Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins History, where every day we dive deeper into the world of rare, mysterious, and incredibly valuable coins that could be hiding right under your nose. Imagine turning a simple pocket change find into life-changing money. Today we are about to uncover one of those stunning possibilities. We're traveling back in time to the heart of American history, to the year 1943, during the peak of World War II, when the United States Mint produced something truly extraordinary, the Jefferson Nickel 5-cent coin with mint marks that now has collectors across the globe buzzing with excitement. What makes this everyday coin so special? Why are numismatists and treasure seekers searching tirelessly for pristine examples? Stick around, because by the time we get to the end of this fascinating journey, you just might be heading straight to your piggy bank to check your coins. During the early 1940s, America was fully immersed in wartime production. Nickel, the metal used in standard 5-cent coins, was essential to the war effort for manufacturing military equipment and armor, forcing the U.S. Mint to use a special wartime alloy of copper, silver, and manganese. This resulted in the production of what we now call the wartime Jefferson Nickels, easily identified by their large mint marks placed boldly above Monticello on the reverse side. These wartime nickels were struck at 3 different mint locations: Philadelphia with the letter P, Denver with the letter D, and San Francisco with the letter S, and each of these mint mark variations plays a huge role in determining the value and desirability among collectors. Though millions were made, most were used heavily in circulation to support day-to-day wartime commerce, making surviving coins in excellent condition surprisingly scarce today. Let's take a closer look at this historical and beautifully symbolic 1943 Jefferson nickel. On the obverse side, you'll find a dignified portrait of Thomas Jefferson, 3rd President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. His profile stands firm, representing the unyielding spirit of freedom and democracy. Encircling him, the words, "In God we trust," and "Liberty" remind us of the ideals America fought so fiercely to protect during that turbulent time. Flip over the coin, and you'll see his elegant home, Monticello, beneath which lies the mint mark, an oversized letter that instantly identifies this as one of the special wartime series. Whether it is a rare S from San Francisco, the historic P from Philadelphia, or the sought-after D from Denver, these letters are the key to unlocking the treasure potential of your coin. What truly fires the imagination of collectors is the potential rarity factor. While many of these 1943 nickels stayed in circulation for years, losing detail, shine, and sharpness along the way, only a small handful survived in spectacular uncirculated condition. These are the coins that were tucked away unknowingly in jars, drawers, or safe deposit boxes and forgotten about for generations. Adding to the feverish collector demand are the fascinating minting errors that occasionally happen during production: double die obverse, off-center strikes, planchet cracks, and clipped planchets are just a few examples of eye-catching mistakes that can turn a simple coin into a one-of-a-kind treasure worth far more than anyone would imagine. Imagine stumbling upon one of these rare error coins at the bottom of your old change box. So, how can you tell if the 1943 Jefferson nickel sitting in your possession is worth serious cash? First, examine the coin's condition under a bright light. Look for crisp facial features on Jefferson, clear steps on Monticello, and a sharp, full mint mark. Next, check for any unusual flaws or doubling in the lettering. If your coin looks clean, bright, and exceptionally well preserved, you could be holding something remarkable. Even slightly worn examples can fetch a decent amount, but those graded extremely fine or mint state by professional graders command breathtaking prices at auction houses and online collector marketplaces. To get top dollar, smart collectors often send their coins to certified grading services such as PCGS or NGC to authenticate the coin's grade and maximize value before listing it for sale. That little piece of metal could easily become the superstar of your collection. Every day, collectors and investors are scouring estate sales, flea markets, antique stores, and even family coin boxes to locate these wartime nickels. Why? Because history has shown that these coins continue to rise in value as fewer high-grade examples remain available on the market. Demand grows while supply dwindles, and that is the perfect recipe for a true numismatic treasure. There's something magical about holding a coin that lived through one of the most dramatic chapters in American history, a coin that helped finance the arsenal of democracy while quietly preserving the heritage of a nation under pressure. Owning a 1943 Jefferson nickel isn't just about value, it's about owning a slice of American courage and destiny. Welcome back to our channel, where every day we dive deeper into the world of rare, mysterious, and incredibly valuable coins that could be hiding right under your nose. Imagine turning a simple pocket change find into life-changing money. Today we are about to uncover one of those stunning possibilities. We're traveling back in time to the heart of American history, to the year 1943, during the peak of World War II, when the United States Mint produced something truly extraordinary, the Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin with mint marks that now has collectors across the globe buzzing with excitement. What makes this everyday coin so special? Why are numismatists and treasure seekers searching tirelessly for pristine examples? Stick around, because by the time we get to the end of this fascinating journey, you just might be heading straight to your piggy bank to check your coins. During the early 1940s, America was fully immersed in wartime production. Nickel, the metal used in standard 5-cent coins, was essential to the war effort for manufacturing military equipment and armor, forcing the U.S. Mint to use a special wartime alloy of copper, silver, and manganese. This resulted in the production of what we now call the wartime Jefferson nickels, easily identified by their large mint marks placed boldly above Monticello on the reverse side. These wartime nickels were struck at 3 different mint locations: Philadelphia with the letter P, Denver with the letter D, and San Francisco with the letter S, and each of these mint mark variations plays a huge role in determining the value and desirability among collectors. Though millions were made, most were used heavily in circulation to support day-to-day wartime commerce, making surviving coins in excellent condition surprisingly scarce today. Let's take a closer look at this historical and beautifully symbolic 1943 Jefferson nickel. On the obverse side, you'll find a dignified portrait of Thomas Jefferson, 3rd President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. His profile stands firm, representing the unyielding spirit of freedom and democracy. Encircling him, the words, "In God we trust," and "Liberty" remind us of the ideals America fought so fiercely to protect during that turbulent time. Flip over the coin, and you'll see his elegant home, Monticello, beneath which lies the mint mark, an oversized letter that instantly identifies this as one of the special wartime series. Whether it is a rare S from San Francisco, the historic P from Philadelphia, or the sought-after D from Denver, these letters are the key to unlocking the treasure potential of your coin. What truly fires the imagination of collectors is the potential rarity factor. While many of these 1943 nickels stayed in circulation for years, losing detail, shine, and sharpness along the way, only a small handful survived in spectacular uncirculated condition. Today, we are diving into one such fascinating collector's dream hiding in plain sight, the United States of America Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin from the year 1973 with mint marks. You may have passed by one of these coins countless times without realizing its potential, but after watching this video, you'll never look at a Jefferson nickel the same way ever again. Get ready to uncover the hidden details, historical charm, and jaw-dropping market value of this humble piece of American currency that is now turning heads among collectors. Let's begin by rewinding the clock to 1973, a year of bold change and major milestones in the United States. The Vietnam War was drawing toward its twilight, the Watergate scandal was shaking the White House, and America was in the midst of a cultural revolution powering innovation, activism, and identity. Amid this thrilling, chaotic energy, the United States Mint continued its steady job of producing coins for the nation, including the beloved Jefferson nickel. What makes the 1973 Jefferson nickel so exciting is not only the story and heritage it carries from that era but also the distinct mint marks used to identify where each coin was struck: the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, the Denver Mint marked with a bold letter D, and the San Francisco Mint stamped with an elegant S. These tiny letters, often overlooked by the casual spender, now rank among the most important clues in unlocking the coin's rarity and value. As you look closely at the obverse of the 1973 nickel, a proud and noble portrait of Thomas Jefferson greets you. His timeless profile reflects determination, intelligence, and the spirit of independence, fitting for a man who authored the Declaration of Independence and shaped an entire nation's destiny. The sharp lettering of "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," alongside the vintage date 1973, transforms this everyday nickel into a miniature work of art steeped in history. Turn the coin over and you'll encounter the iconic Monticello, Jefferson's Grand Virginia estate, standing strong even in its tiny engraved form. Below Monticello is where you'll find that powerful mint mark that could make all the difference between an average coin and a life-changing discovery. Many people assume that because 1973 doesn't feel like ancient history, these coins must still be common. The truth is much more exciting. While millions of Jefferson Nickels were produced during that year, only a very small number have survived in superb, high-grade uncirculated condition. Most of the coins quickly entered circulation, picked up surface were in wallets and cash registers, and eventually lost their luster over decades of use. That's what makes uncirculated and mint state examples so rare and desirable today. Collectors around the world are engaged in fierce competition to locate the highest quality specimens of the 1973 nickel, especially with a clean, bold D or S mint mark, razor-sharp step detail on Monticello, and a beautiful untouched shine. These are the coins that ignite bidding wars and command premium auction prices. Even more thrilling are the rare minting errors occasionally found on 1973 Jefferson Nickels that escape the mint's quality control. Imagine owning a coin with a dramatic off-center strike, doubling in the date, a cracked die flaw, or a clipped planchet that turns a routine nickel into a unique piece sought after by top collectors. These error coins are like winning lottery tickets. You never know when you might stumble upon one, but when you do, the returns can be incredible. Always check your 1973 Jefferson nickel carefully under bright light, using a magnifying glass if possible. Examine Jefferson's cheek and jawline for detail, look at the sharpness of the lettering, and pay extra attention to the steps on Monticello. Full, unbroken steps are a sure sign of a high-grade coin, and professional coin graders consider them extremely valuable. So how do you find out if your 1973 Jefferson nickel is worth real money? The first step is learning to distinguish between a circulated coin and a mint condition example. Uncirculated coins have no trace of wear, original mint luster, and crisp edges. The next step is authentication and grading. This is where professional services like PCGS or NGC come in. A coin graded MS65 or higher can easily surprise you in the market. And if fortune strikes and you happen to own a rare error version along with top condition, your coin is almost guaranteed to create a buzz among buyers and possibly spark competitive offers from seasoned collectors who have been searching for one of these high-grade marvels for years. Time is only increasing the desirability of the 1973 Jefferson nickel, making now the perfect moment to dig through your saved coins. Check old jars, explore antique shops, or sort through inherited coin collections from parents and grandparents. Every year the number of pristine coins left in circulation drops, driving the value higher and higher. People who once ignored these small pieces of metal are suddenly discovering that they are sitting on hidden treasures, and that realization is fueling a surge of interest and excitement in the numismatic world. Whether you're a casual collector just starting your journey or an experienced treasure hunter on the lookout for your next big find, the 1973 Jefferson nickel deserves your full attention. Today's video will take you on a thrilling hunt through the world of pocket change as we uncover one of the most surprising modern-day gems hiding in circulation, the United States of America Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin from the year 1990 with mint marks. Many people handle these coins every day without giving them a second glance, but after this video, you'll understand why numismatists everywhere are obsessively searching for these specific nickels and paying extraordinary amounts of money for the rarest and most pristine examples. Whether you are already a seasoned coin hunter or simply curious about turning loose change into serious cash, grab a comfortable seat and watch closely. You might just discover you've been holding on to a fortune without knowing it. The year 1990 may not feel like ancient history, but for coin collectors it is already a critically important year in the Jefferson nickel series, filled with subtle changes, exciting rare errors, and mint mark variations that can dramatically impact the value of each coin. Produced at the United States Mint in Philadelphia without a mint mark, in Denver with the letter D, and in San Francisco with the beautiful letter S, these little 5-cent pieces were created in massive quantities to keep up with America's bustling economy at the dawn of the 1990s. However, what most people don't know is that even though millions were minted, only a tiny handful have survived the past 3 decades in pristine, untouched condition, and those are the exact coins now causing a stir at major auctions and pushing collectors into bidding frenzy. Take a close look at the obverse side of the 1990 Jefferson nickel and you will find a bold profile of Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of the United States, looking dignified and determined. The powerful details etched into his hairline, cheekbones, and clothing were crafted with precision by the mint's talented engravers. Above his image, the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" serve as timeless reminders of the ideals that shaped the American dream. Flip the coin and you'll be greeted by the majestic Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate. The columns, dome, and steps on this miniature masterpiece continue to be a numismatic fascination. It's here on the reverse, just to the right of Monticello, that you find the all-important mint mark. That one letter, whether D, S, or nothing at all, could transform an everyday nickel into one of the most desirable collector coins in modern American coinage. Collectors search feverishly for coins that have never entered circulation. These uncirculated and mint-state coins are the true treasures, displaying a sparkling original luster, sharp edges, and full detailed steps on Monticello. Such coins are extremely hard to find because most 1990 nickels were used in everyday life, passed from hand to hand, collecting nicks, scratches, and grime. To locate a perfectly preserved example feels almost like discovering a time capsule. Even more exciting are the unexpected minting errors that occasionally slip through quality control: off-center strikes, double dies in the lettering, clipped planchets, or die cracks. These unusual and often visually dramatic errors are incredibly valuable because each one is truly unique, making them prized possessions for passionate collectors. So how can you tell if your 1990 Jefferson nickel is worth a fortune? Start by examining the coin under bright light and use a magnifying glass for a detailed inspection. Look for strong lines in Jefferson's hair, smooth uninterrupted surfaces, and clear edges. Then flip it over and count the steps of Monticello. Collectors call these full steps, and they are a key factor in grading a premium coin. Original shine and a bold mint mark make the coin especially desirable. True value is unlocked when the coin receives a high grade from professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. A grade of MS65 or higher can skyrocket the price into unbelievable territory, especially if the coin comes from the Denver or San Francisco mints with attractive, rare variants. Interest in modern Jefferson nickels has exploded over the last decade. What used to be overlooked pocket change is now being recognized as an important part of American numismatic history. Rare specimens, particularly those struck with errors or preserved in mint-fresh condition, are breaking previous price records at auction houses and online coin marketplaces. Collectors are scouring bank rolls, garage sales, estate collections, and old family coin jars in hopes of stumbling upon that one perfect 1990 nickel that has remained frozen in time. With fewer of these pristine examples showing up each year, values continue to rise, making this the perfect time to check your own collection or begin a new coin hunting adventure. The thrill of the hunt and the joy of historical discovery are what keep this hobby so exciting, but the possibility of finding a coin that could change your life adds a thrilling twist. Today we're diving into one of the most exciting and historically rich coins ever struck by the United States Mint, a coin that millions of Americans have handled over the years without realizing its hidden value. Get ready to take a thrilling journey into the world of the Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin from 1964 with mint marks, a true classic with a powerful story, eye-catching designs, and a price tag in the collector's market that just might leave you speechless. Whether you're already a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting to explore the mysteries hiding inside their old jars of coins, this video will open your eyes to a treasure hiding in plain sight. So grab your magnifying glass, sit back, and get ready for a wild ride through time as we explore why this little nickel from the mid-1960s is now being hunted with feverish excitement. The year 1964 was a turning point in United States history. It was the height of the civil rights movement, the dawn of the space age, and a time of enormous cultural transformation. Amid all the headlines and historic moments, the United States Mint quietly produced one of the most iconic coins in American currency, the Jefferson nickel. What makes the 1964 issue particularly fascinating is that it marked the end of an era. It was the last year nickels were struck with the original sharp details of Felix Schlag's classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson and clean Monticello design before major die modifications began appearing in later years. The 1964 nickel was minted in massive quantities at two locations, the Denver Mint, proudly identified by a D Mint mark, and the Philadelphia Mint, which at that time carried no mint mark. While that might make you think these coins are all common, the truth is that only a handful of perfectly preserved high-grade examples remain today. Let's take a closer look at this legendary coin. On its obverse side stands a dignified image of Thomas Jefferson, the brilliant mind behind the Declaration of Independence and the third President of the United States. The thoughtful expression on Jefferson's face, the smooth curve of his jawline, and the fine texture of his hair are brilliantly captured, making this coin not only currency but a miniature sculpture. The inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" are carved proudly above, along with the date 1964 positioned just beside Jefferson's collar. Turn it over and you're greeted by the magnificent Monticello, Jefferson's architectural masterpiece nestled in Virginia. Its intricate columns, central dome, and classic symmetry make it one of the most recognizable buildings in American history. Just beneath Monticello is where you'll discover the critical mint mark that could open the door to unimaginable collector value. So what separates an ordinary 1964 nickel from the kind that collectors are willing to pay fortunes for? The answer lies in three key factors: condition, strike detail, and rarity. Over the decades, almost all 1964 Jefferson nickels were used heavily in circulation, meaning they picked up bumps, scratches, and wear as they passed through cash registers, pockets, and piggy banks from coast to coast. However, a tiny number of coins escaped this rough treatment and were tucked away in mint sets, forgotten rolls, or private collections. These magical survivors, still glittering with their original mint luster and razor-sharp details, are the ones collectors dream about. Even scarcer are those that display what experts call full steps on the Monticello, meaning all the steps on the building are fully visible and completely struck. Finding a 1964 nickel with 5 or 6 full steps under magnification is considered the holy grail for Jefferson nickel enthusiasts. On top of that, fascinating minting errors from 1964 add another level of excitement. Imagine owning a coin with a doubled image on Jefferson's face or date, a dramatic off-center strike that shifts the design sideways, or a clipped planchet missing a piece of metal. These error coins are not only visually stunning but can skyrocket in value because each one is unique and tells a story of a split-second mistake during the minting process. Collectors around the world pay top dollar for such oddities, and if you're lucky enough to spot one hiding in your spare change, you could be looking at an incredible payday. The next question is how to spot one of these valuable coins in your own collection. Grab a bright light and examine the surfaces carefully. Look for a strong portrait of Jefferson with clean edges, no scratches over the cheek or jaw, clear lettering, and a mint mark, especially the D, for higher rarity. Flip it over and analyze those steps on Monticello. If you can clearly count all of them, you might have a full steps variety, which is a major sign of value. Any signs of doubling in the letters or numbers are also strong clues that you may hold an error coin. If your 1964 nickel looks sharp and shiny with strong details, it might be time to send it to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Once graded at a high mint state level, coins like these have been known to fetch staggering prices in auction houses and online bidding wars. As more people rediscover the value of mid-century coins, the spotlight has turned intensely toward the 1964 Jefferson nickel. Every year, interest grows and prices inch upward because high-quality specimens continue to disappear into the hands of serious collectors. That's why now is the perfect moment to get involved in the hunt. Dig through jars in your attic, check your grandparents' old coin collections, and never overlook a 1964 nickel in your loose change again. That seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin could be far more than just pocket change. It could be a rare piece of American history ready to change your fortune forever. Today, we're uncovering a modern coin mystery that's thrilling collectors and shocking everyday people all over America. You've probably handled this coin countless times without ever realizing its secret potential. The United States of America Jefferson Nickel 5-cent coin from 1985 with mint marks may look completely ordinary at first glance, but rare high-grade examples and eye-catching error versions are now exploding in value, turning inexpensive pocket change into incredibly valuable collectibles. If you've ever dreamed of stumbling onto a fortune by accident, pay close attention, because by the time we reach the end of this video, you might be digging through your coin jar with brand new excitement and hope. To understand why the 1985 Jefferson nickel is such a hot target right now, we need to rewind history just a bit. The mid-1980s marked a time of massive development in technology, culture, and the American economy. The National Mint was producing millions of coins daily to keep up with growing demand. This nickel was struck at three famous locations: the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time used no mint mark, the Denver Mint, marked with a bold letter D, and the San Francisco Mint, stamped with the elegant S typically used for proof coins. Though it might seem like all of these coins are equally common, collectors know a secret: only a tiny number of coins from 1985 remain in pristine, untouched condition, making the hunt for top-tier examples incredibly competitive in today's market. Let's take a closer look at the stunning design that has made this coin such a popular part of American currency. On the obverse side stands Thomas Jefferson, former president and founding father, immortalized in crisp detail: the curve of his hair, the sharp outline of his jaw, and the unmistakable look of wisdom and power. Above and beside him, the classic inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" remain as bold as ever. Spin the coin to the reverse and you are greeted by an architectural icon, Monticello. The fine lines, columns, and stairs make this miniature masterpiece a true celebration of American heritage. But don't be fooled by its humble appearance, because just to the right of that elegant building sits the little mint mark that holds the key to determining whether your coin is ordinary or extraordinary. The real thrill for collectors lies in the rarity of high-grade uncirculated coins and rare mint errors from 1985. While millions were struck, nearly all of them went straight into circulation, landing in cash registers, vending machines, and pockets across the country. Over time, they accumulated small scratches, worn edges, and dulled surfaces. That's what makes uncirculated examples so extremely rare. These specimens, still blazing with their original mint shine and perfect detail, are the true gems. Then there are the legendary minting errors: coins struck off-center, doubled dies that create ghost-like duplicate images of Jefferson, clipped planchets where entire sections of metal are missing, and die cracks that send jagged lines across the surface. These unexpected mistakes from the mint create one-of-a-kind pieces that hardcore collectors fight fiercely to acquire. The most valuable 1985 Jefferson nickels almost always share one thing in common: exceptional, untouched condition. Collectors often refer to full steps on Monticello, a grading term that means all the steps on the building are fully visible and perfectly struck, without any blurred or flattened parts. Incredibly few coins from this era qualify, making a full-step 1985 nickel a major prize. If the coin also has a bold mint mark and shows no signs of circulation wear, it could skyrocket in value. Professional grading services like NGC and PCGS certify these coins at grades such as MS65, MS66, or even MS67, and these little numbers make huge differences when it comes to price. The higher the grade, the more collectors are willing to pay, especially if the coin comes from the Denver or San Francisco Mint and remains visually stunning. With modern Jefferson nickels becoming more popular every year, collectors, resellers, and investors are now scrambling to find untouched rolls, sealed proof sets, and old stashes hidden away by relatives. People are raiding banks, buying boxes of coins to search through, hunting estate sales, and chasing old coin jars from basements and garages hoping that lightning will strike. All it takes is one example in the right condition to change your story forever. The thrill, excitement, and potential reward make this one of the most addictive and exciting hunts in all of numismatics. If you own a 1985 nickel or ever come across one in your spare change, never throw it away without checking the mint mark, study the details under strong light, and if your coin looks unusually smooth, sharp, and gleaming, it might be worth sending in to be graded. So when you're finished watching, go straight to your coin stash and search carefully. You could be closer to a life-changing discovery than you ever imagined. Because if you are fortunate enough to uncover a 1985 Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin with the right mint mark in breathtaking uncirculated condition, it could be worth an unbelievable $70,000.